Today I'll be telling you a story of my story. Let me tell you my profession first. I am a Luchador wrestler. I want to withhold my name and withhold the company I work for. This happens 12 years ago. A story I never told, but I feel like I need to tell this story to let this out my chest once and for all. Why I'm telling this story now? Because, well, I have a medical condition and I feel like if something happens to me, if I have to go to the next light, I rather have this story be told. Well, anyway, it all started when I was finishing up a show in Las Vegas, and it's time to go home to my home country, Mexico. Driving by myself, I have no other wrestlers with me to take home. Most of my Mexican wrestlers, there was a wrestling show in Las Vegas, decided to stay for one more day. Enjoy the Las Vegas nightlife. Me, I was tired pretty much. So as I drove up the dark road in Mexico, and when you drive home at night in Mexico, it gets kind of scary. For me, it's like I'm so used to strange stuff happening to me. I survived gunshots, stabbings from fans, who crazy wrestling fans, pretty much. I've been through a lot of fights, real fights, not just wrestling shows, but real life fights. So I've been through a lot of crazy shit and meet a lot of crazy people. So I'm pretty much used to weird stuff. So you hear a lot of stories in Mexico about the supernatural and about the witness, you know. But to me, growing up, it was always like fairy tales in a way, like how you Americans have your nursery rhymes or three bears with Goldilocks type of story, Snow White and the witch. To us Mexicans, we have our own creepy stories too. But anyway, when I went to one town, buying some food because I was hungry, I heard stories from locals. I even saw it in the newspaper from the stand about some kind of creature, a man, but he's like big and saying this man is witness to kill people with his bare hands, you know, and leave a mark of satanic pentagram. To me, when I hear this type of story, it was like, well, what else is new? Somebody will get this nutcase, right? As I drove off from the station, I go to the next town, and guess what? I'm hearing another story about some two ladies that been scalped to death. I'm like, scalped to death? I'm like, this is weird. Then I left, wondering what's going on. Two towns passed me by, and I'm hearing about two deaths already. So anyway, when I drove off, I went to the third town, and I hear from more locals another killing just happened. And this time, a child had been drowned. I'm like, okay. But not only the child drowned, it got into more detail about this child. Not only he drowned, but his eyeballs and his intestines been pulled out. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I never had this type of experience. I was driving the same road, so for so many years, from going to America to back to Mexico, and I never hear anything like this. So then, when I drove off, I'm like, okay, I hope this doesn't. Hope I don't hear no scary stories like that again, you know. And the stories are true pretty much because, it's in the newspaper. But still a scary story. I'm hearing this shit from one town to another town, and it's like different deaths. So anyway, I got home. So fine, good to be home. Opening my door, and I live by myself with my dog, a beautiful pit bull, very gorgeous, dog, and very smart. Lock my door, put my bags down, but the one thing that was funny is this: I did not hear my dog bark. My dog didn't even greet me. So I went around the house looking, you know. I never leave my dog outside. My dog is always inside. And, did you see my dog? I said maybe my dog's somewhere sleeping, maybe by the corner. What? I mean, I do have a lot of junk in the house, piling around. But I said I'll look tomorrow morning. Brush my teeth. I decided to take my hot shower, and then I went to bed. The funny thing is, I felt something wet in my bed. I got up, turned the lights. When I went to my bedroom, I leave my lights off. But I should have turned on the lights anyway because maybe I would noticed something. The wetness on my bed. I'm like, I know I ain't pee on myself, and maybe it's my dog. So I thought maybe my dog was next to me on my bed, right? But what I can say when I turn on the lights, I scream in terror and fear, knowing that this is fucking blood, and I'm seeing like hair, like gray hair, and that's the color of my dog, gray. So wait a minute, is my dog bleeding? What the hell's going on? And then I look up in the ceiling, and I'm seeing like blood stains slowly dripping, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I went to my closet where my attic is, but then I have my baseball bat in the corner also. So I have a baseball bat to use as a weapon. I walked upstairs with my flashlight. My attic's pretty dark though. There's no lights to turn that for attic lights, but I do have a flashlight. So as I spot the lights, I notice blood trails, and I saw my dog right there dead. Just the head is cut off, and the intestines pulled off. And then some man, straw man, charged right behind me on the ground. But thanks to me being a wrestler, I know how to defend myself. And I turned around, looking at the man, and he has like no mouth, no fucking mouth, and his eyes are filled with darkness, like this guy's possessed, you know. And there's old saying about a man with dark eyes, meaning he's possessed by the demonic, the satanical. And I'm like, this can't be for real. And I kept struggling wrestling against him, but he was so strong. And thanks to my baseball bat, I was able to take him down with my skills and the baseball bat to beat him down. And once I beat him down, he was pretty much dead because he ended up bleeding and he wasn't moving. And then I call the cops. They come in and I tell them of what happened. And they said, this is the man we have been looking for. The serial killer that have been killing people from different towns. Did I just save different towns from different victims against a serial killer just now? So I mean, it will not happen again. And I'm shocked and terror that this all happened suddenly. Well, after the situation, and saddened by the death of my dog, I decided to move out the house. And I think I better stick in a small house this time. And well, what can I say about this story? Just be very, very careful. Because when you hear local stories, you don't know if it's going to come to you or not. But still, be cautious.